come out to this conference to learn a little bit more about urban planning and densification particularly. And what I'm finding the most interesting for me is the conversation that's being had about the coupling of land use to transit and mobility. And it's very heartwarming for me to hear that conversation, because we in Red Deer have undertaken, through the direction of City Council, a strategy to look at integrated movement and transportation along with the redevelopment of our land use codes. So this to me is a sense that we're going in the right direction and we're doing the right things. So it's been very, very good for me to hear these sorts of things here. We kind of consider ourselves sort of living in the boreal forest, but we don't have a lot of restraint in terms of urban sprawl because there's so much land around us. So it's kind of important that the environmentalist movement and even the climate change issues are becoming so important right now, because it's bringing an awareness to our community that we need to do something different than what we're currently doing. And so even though we don't have necessarily to look at densification because of land use, we're still doing that because we want to consider the impact of our city on the environment, but also on our economy. One of the big challenges that we have is, and I think it's probably becoming more and more known among city councils across the country, is that suburbs really don't pay for themselves. And so the more of them that you have, the more it costs the whole tax base as a whole. So densification of communities really does help, both at the bottom line from a tax perspective, but also from an environmental perspective. One of the things that I found most fascinating about this conference is on a completely different topic, and that is the idea of peacemaking of cities. And one of the theses that was presented this morning by Matthew Soul was the idea that because of cities, the more people move to urbanized settings, the more we have peace in the world. And I really like that idea. It was always been my notion that diversification of communities with lots of different ethnicities actually creates a healthier community for everybody.